Ladies and gentlemen, Hex community of all ages, hey, Jake Freedom here, coming to you live from YouTube for yet again another week's of Armies of Myth spoilers. So again, like last week, we'll go through the cards fairly quickly. We won't talk about them in detail. We'll just kind of go ahead and show them and kind of hit the highlights on some of the really good ones. So let's go ahead and get started with that here. The first one we're going to start with is going to be Bloat Cap. And this one here is a 2-cost, 1 blood threshold. It's a Shroomkin troop. He has a common, is 1/1. Not that great, but when this dies, each opposing champion chooses and discards a card. Does have some relevance. At least they get to discard, they have to discard a card. So maybe some relevance in a mill deck or just trying to get stuff out of their hand, and you can do it fairly quickly since he is only a 2-cost. Next one here is an 8-cost triple blood threshold, Devouring Doomspore. This is a Shroomkin troop, and he is a legendary, and he has quite a unique ability. It's for basic speed. If you have 3 blood threshold, while this is in your hand, sacrifice 3 troops. You can play this for free. This has rage 1 for each troop in your graveyard. So at first you think, wow, this is a really good card. You know, you might be thinking like, oh, there's some really cool decks I can build with this. The problem is that it's that triple blood threshold. So right there, that immediately is going to tell you this is probably going to have to go in a mono blood deck of some sort, because trying to splash this in even a dual color deck might be kind of difficult to get that triple blood threshold. But again, you're never going to pay 8 to cast this guy. You're always going to cast him for probably free. And you know, some of the things I can think of right now is just using, you know, battle hoppers for the troops to sacrifice. You know, maybe the 3 blood threshold won't be so bad. We'll have to see once we get it out into play and, you know, see how well we can actually get it to work. And heck, maybe you can cast it for 8 and, you know, before turn 8, but I'm going to guess 99% of the time he's going to be cast probably for free. Next one we're going to talk about here is Graunt's Gift. 4 casting cost, 1 blood threshold. He's a constant with a socket. I think this is the first constant with a socket that we've seen. And it is a socketable major, and his card text is, for 4 resources, you can transform a target non-zombie troop in your graveyard into a zombie with all socketed powers of this and put it into play. So this is the first socketable constant we've seen that stays in play, so it's not a quick action or basic action that you can continually do this with. That might see some constructed play. I'm not sure. You know, I'm not real good at saying whether this card's going to be great and constructed or not. Probably going to be more along the lines of, I don't know, I think it could see all 3, draft, sealed, you know, and constructed, to be honest with you, but again, I don't know. Next one here we have Necrophat, 5 casting cost, 1 blood threshold. Is a rare necrotic mage troop, and he has shift on it, and it is for 1 resource. You can shift the text. When this dies, put it in your hand, it gets cost +2. 5 casting cost, 5/3. Not that great. I'm gonna guess this is this will probably be a good draft card. You know, given that you can shift the stuff around, you know, and he's a 5 cost, he's only got a 3 on the back end. Not the greatest, not easy to remove, since, you know, the 3 toughness is kind of right there in the threshold of what do I use to get rid of it. You know, a single burn ain't gonna work. You know, a rage fire with it hasn't been cycled at least once isn't gonna work. You know, Bombsmith obviously isn't gonna work. Boomsmith, he might work. Does he do troops? I think he does troops. Boomsmith might work, but, you know, so that 3 toughness is kind of right there in the threshold where it's kind of a pain in the ass to get rid of. That's all the blood cards that were spoiled this week here. So let's move on to Ruby, and this one here is Cerberus. I think that's how you pronounce that. I don't know, Cerberus. Anyway, 5 casting costs, a double Ruby threshold. This is a legendary troop beast. He has Crush and Rage 1. And his card text is pretty cool. It says this deals triple damage. So deals triple damage. That's pretty cool. So, you know, you use him 1 time, he's going to have rage 2. He's going to do 2. He's going to do 6 for the very first time. You know, not a horrible card. Definitely a bomb and limited. Whether or not he's going to be very good and constructed, I don't know. I could see him, you know, if you kind of pair this maybe with oh, I don't know, Boulder Toss, you could, you know, definitely get rid of a troop pretty easily since he deals triple damage. You know, it's not just triple combat damage. So, you never know. We'll see about this one. I like that card a lot. Next one here, we have Death Mask Assailant. And he has a 2 casting cost, 1 ruby threshold. He comes in at common. He's a necrotic rogue troop. And his card text is, this can't be blocked by troops with less attack than this troop's attack. And he has a basic one-shot ability where for 1 resource you can shift. This can't be blocked by troops with attack less than this troop's attack. So you can shift that ability to another troop. And he comes in at a 2-1, so he's kind of right on par there. 2-1 for 2. Yeah, he's a common, so they're not going to be that great. But you know, moving that card text around is definitely going to be probably its most powerful trait of the card. Next one we have here is Highland's Black Belt. This is a 2 casting cost, 1 ruby threshold. Human Warrior Troop comes in at rare. She's a 2-1 and has a lot of card text. It might be kind of hard for you to see some of that. But it's got a basic one-shot ability for 2 resources. You can choose one. You have Sting of the Manicore, and that is this deals double damage this turn. Or you have Wings of the Phoenix. It says this gets flight, and when this deals damage to opposing champion, it also deals 1 damage to each opposing troop this turn. And the final ability on here is Breath of the Dragon. This deals damage equal to its attack to target opposing troop. So if I were to pick my favorite one out of that, I'm going to have to pick Wings of the Phoenix, because you get it up in the air, and when it deals damage to the champion, it also deals 1 damage to each opposing troop. So it's kind of like a bonus Heat Wave. Well, Heat Wave does 2. Heat Wave 2 or 1, I don't remember. So I like that card a lot. I think that one could maybe see some constructed, just because it has such good abilities. Granted, it's going to cost you at least 4 to get it out, and then, you know, well, not 4 technically. You can get it out in turn 2, and the very next turn of yours. So turn 3, you know, you could be able to do one of these abilities, which I think has some relevance. So we'll see where that one actually comes out. Whether or not it'll be tier 1 decks and constructed, I don't know. Next one we have here is another ruby card, 7 casting cost, 2 ruby threshold, mechanized. Man, I can't talk. I want to say it's mechanized. Man, why can't I not say that word? I don't know. Anyway, mechanized demolisher, and he is a troop dwarf robot. I'm having a difficult time speaking tonight. He is an uncommon. He is a 6/4 that says when this enters play, create 2 demolitions and put them into your hand. Now, if you don't remember what demolitions are, demolitions take away permanent resources from your opponent. So you actually get 2 of those. Next card here we have Quash Ridge Tusker for 1 casting cost, 1 ruby. Orc Cleric comes in at rare. He's a troop. He's an 0-1 troop. And he has Rage 1. It says when this attacks, another target attacking troop gets plus attack equal to this troop's attack this turn. So when these cards came out, I saw Rage 1 here, and it's not in green. Does that mean that it doesn't have permanent Rage 1? That it just gets the Rage 1 that time and it gets 1? I don't know. Why is it not in green? Is it supposed to be in green? I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all on that at all. So the next card here we have is a 5 casting cost, 1 ruby threshold quick action. This is Zakir's Whim, and it's a socketable quick action, socketable major at that. And it says target troop transforms into a random troop with all socketed powers of this. At first you might think, wow, that's a pretty good card. You know, you get a random troop. Problem is it's random. You never know what you're going to get. So this card here is probably never going to see constructed, at least any competitive constructed. This is going to be something that, you know, you pick in, you know, maybe arena that you do, just have some fun with, you know, against some friends, maybe in limited or sealed. You know, it's going to be one of those cards you just can't rely on it enough to, you know, what's going to happen. So what if he transforms into, you know, Honeycap, where you don't have any wild threshold, and that just dies immediately, so you just wasted 5 resources to get absolutely nothing. Granted, that's like kind of the extreme end of the deal, but again, it's random, so it's definitely not going to be something that is going to see any amount of real play. Next card here, actually that's all the cards we have for Ruby, so let's go and move on to Wild here. First card we have here is Balthasar, and he's a 6 casting cost, 2 wild threshold. He is a satyr troop. He's unique. He is a rare. And this one here has been kind of controversial. To me, the way this card reads, this is what's controversial, is what the actual card text means. To me, well, first of all, let me just read it to you. It says, when Balthasar arrives upon the field, he'll find the greatest troop amongst your band. A gift of health, 1 troop's defense will yield, 1 troop's attack will likewise fill your hand. So what that means to me, is how I read it, is he'll find a troop, the greatest troop amongst your band, which is the ones you have in control, and he'll take that health and give it to you. So it's kind of a health gain card. And then it says 1 troop's attack, which will be completely random, will fill your hand. So when I see that, I said, okay, if it picks a troop that has 2 attack, each troop in your hand gets +2 to its attack. That's how I read it. Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. There hasn't really been any clarification yet that I have found, but that's how I read it, and I'm gonna say 99% that's probably how it's going to work. Next card we have here is Stirring Orination. Stirring Oration, something like that. Oration, I don't know. Anyway, 2 casting cost, 1 wild threshold. It's a quick action. It is common. Target troop gets +2/+2 this turn. If you control a card with cost 5 or greater, that troop gets an additional +3/+3. So it could be something that could be paired with that periwinkle stuff, you know, the eye. Oh man, what do the cards cost? The eye cards, Eye of Creation, and the Pupil's Creation, stuff like that. So, granted, that's common, so you know you could probably pair with that. We'll see. Other than that, you know, I like the card. Next one we have here is Wrathwood Larch. 6 casting cost, 1 wild threshold, comes in at common. He is a plant troop, and for 2 resources, you can discard this and create a wild shard and put it into your hand. He is a 6 casting cost, 4/6. You know, limited play. You know, draft and sealed maybe. You know, because why would you want to discard this and create a wild shard and put it into your hand? I'm not sure I'm going to want to do that. I don't want to pay 8 total to get a wild shard. You know, so that's, again, not a very good card, but, you know, in limited, probably it'll see some play, but that's about it. That's all for the wilds. Only 3 wilds spoiled last week. And so we're going to move into Diamond, and we have Deep Gaze Champion, and this is a 3 casting cost, single diamond threshold. It's a Necrotic Warrior, comes in at rare. It's a 3/3 troop, and its text is, when a power is shifted onto a troop you control, each troop you control gets +1/+1. It's kind of a cool ability. You know, there are enough cards out there, I think, with shift on them to maybe make something of that, but not sure how well this is going to work. I mean, or not how well it's going to work. I mean, obviously it'll work, but how much play we'll actually see with this one. Moving on, this card here I like a lot. This is a 5 casting cost, double diamond threshold, is a Golden Avenger. He's a legendary troop hero. He's a 4/4 for 5, so right there, that's not bad. He has Flight and Swift Strike. Again, 4/4 for 5 with Flight and Swift Strike. Not bad at all. And his card text is when Golden Avenger dies, revert it, then create a Mask of the Avenger and put it into your hand. Now, Mask of Avenger is 2 casting cost, double diamond, and it's a basic action, and you can transform target troop you control into a Golden Avenger. So he's a sticky troop. He will always come back. You know, it doesn't matter. So basically, once you get him out there first time, if he dies, you can keep bringing him back for 2. So I think this is a very good card. I think we'll probably see him quite a bit. You know, I could be wrong. I mean, he is 5 cost, double diamond, but he doesn't go away. So if he dies on your turn, or he dies, you know, if you block something and kill it and he dies, you know, you're going to get that. Your very next turn, bam, he comes back. Pair it with something that's got speed, you know, who knows? The possibilities are kind of endless with this guy. Oops, sorry about that. I forgot I had him closed. So, my personal thoughts, good card. Good card all around. Next one we have here is a quick action, 1 casting cost, 1 diamond star shield. And this is the next time target troop would be dealt damage, this game prevent it. So that can be put on anything. That's a pretty decent card. I like that card a lot. Preventing damage. That's all for diamonds, and let's move on to Sapphire. And only 2 Sapphire cards. This one here is Frigid Buffalo. So far in every set we've had a Buffalo. We had the Rotting Buffalo, we had the Frigid Buffalo. What was the one? Oh, which one was the Rotted Buffalo? Anyway, every set so far we've got a Buffalo of some sort. So this one here is a 3 casting cost, 1 Sapphire threshold. He's a 2/3, so not bad. 3 cost, 2/3. Okay, he's probably not gonna be your first pick, obviously, but again, he's not bad. None of the Buffaloes are horrible. They're just not played that much because they're just a vanilla card, and that's all they do. And there's no card text. Next one here we have is Thunderfield Enchanter, 6 casting cost, double Sapphire. Comes in at common. He's a Coyote Mage troop. He has Prophecy on him. Oh, and he's a 5/4 or a 4/5. So his Prophecy reads, when this enters play, the next troop in your deck gets Spell Shield. So if you want to go the Spell Shield route, this might be a card you want to play. Spell Shield can be pretty powerful. It's most powerful in draft and sealed, since the removal is limited, and most of the time it's targeted removal. So that could be definitely a pretty good limited card. Next one here is Zinix Silk. I think that's how you pronounce that. It is a resource card. And you get 1/1, you gain a charge, and it has Venom Allegiance, and it says choose one. You can gain a Blood Threshold, you can gain a Sapphire Threshold, or you can choose Spiderling Eggs. What choose Spiderling Eggs means at this moment, I have no idea. Does that mean you get them? I don't know what choose Spiderling Eggs means, but decent resource card. And we only had 1 multi-shard card revealed to us, and that is Houndmaster of Erdivos. 5 casting cost, Diamond Ruby Threshold. He's a rare Human Ranger troop. He's got speed. He's a 3/3, so he's not horrible. It says at the end of your turn, if this is ready, create an attack dog and put it into play. Otherwise, create a guard dog and put it into play. I don't have an attack dog, but I think it's a 3/3 card. It's like the guard dog. The guard dog is a 1/1. He gets +2/+2 when he blocks. Is that right? Or when somebody blocks him, I think the attack dog is a 3/3. I'm not sure on the card text, so I can't even quote that one for you. So those, I should say, are the spoilers for this week here. Again, I will continue to find them and kind of bring them all into one place and showcase them for you. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you want to let me know something about some of these spoilers here, let me know some of your favorite ones, or maybe how to pronounce some of the names. Like that Stirring Oration. I think maybe it's Stirring Oration. Maybe that's how you pronounce that one. That'd be right, Stirring Oration. That would probably seem right there. So anyway, like I said, let me know some of your comments in the comments down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. And again, as always, if you want to see more of these, you got to be sure to click subscribe down below, and we'll have another video for you soon.